My name is Talia Drury. I go to RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, and I'm a master's student in the furniture program here. Mainly, I use wood as my material to make furniture or sculptural furniture objects. And recently, I've been doing a lot of carving and printmaking that has involved that, which are around in my space. I tend to start with a lot of sketching or looking at inspiration. So sometimes I'll go outside and I'll go on walks and I'll find these interesting natural forms that I take photos of or I document by sketching them down. And then I take those forms and then turn them into sculptural objects or sculptural furniture. Generally, it starts with rough lumber that I get from the shop downstairs and then milling all of them, gluing them up, and then hand shaping them. For the guitar, it started off with like a walk in the woods, hand sketching some of the things that I saw there, and then finding this sort of vignette space around, which is that sort of arching shape, drawing it within that space, and then sort of messing around with the colors from there. I could have made a 6-string or a 4-string, and I decided to make a 4-string so that it was easier for me to play. I think the main reason I tend to focus towards nature and natural forms and these curves is I find them really beautiful and I want people to look at them more. I think my pieces are sort of like these forms that people can look at and then be like, oh, this is what this looks like up close. Like I focus on the details and then they can go see the piece and then decide to look for themselves. And so putting them in these spaces can let people see that they actually do matter and then go out and see them for themselves. Samara is this maple seed or like wing-like object that is a mirror that has a sort of light shade over top of it, and you can open it all the way up, sort of spiraling like a maple seed would spiral down. I'm mimicking that movement in the way that you open up the cabinet. I think when I started doing woodworking, I was a lot more functional in my designs. I just got into using nature as an outlet when I got here. My background is a lot in 2-dimensional work, so like painting and drawing. And I started building, I think 4 or 5 years ago, 3-dimensional work. So I hadn't done any 3-dimensional work until 4 or 5 years ago. And that's when I started using the wood shop and power tools. And then I came here, this is the ending of my 2nd year. So I've been using power tools for 4 or 5 years now. I was an industrial design major. One of my teachers in my freshman year sort of like, maybe you'd be really good in this program. It's drawing heavy. And so we did a lot of drawing and then we had to start making what we were drawing, which was both terrifying, but really exciting. Because then I could like finally see my pieces in these sort of 3-dimensional elements, 3-dimensional world. It started getting me more excited about building and more excited about making and trying to figure out these things. Currently, what I'm working on is actually this piece right there. It's this big sort of winding bench form that is articulated, so all the pieces sort of slide together and create this sort of meandering curve. After I finish that this semester, which is I'll be done in 4 weeks or so, I'll be working on my thesis. So I have to figure out what I want to do for my thesis, but it's probably going to be incorporating weaving into more of my furniture pieces because I really like the undulations that are found in the pieces downstairs. And then a lot of carving, some sculptural carving pieces. And I see a lot more like wall hanging stuff, so similar to Samara, something that can hold small objects, because I like carving small handheld objects. It's kind of like the found objects that I find outside. A lot of them are small, like seed-like forms, and just being able to hold them and like tuck them in your pocket and you can go on your way is really fun.